Welcome back.
What's big back gets credible.
It's been a hell of a week.
Fuck of a week.
From snow to 70-degree temperatures out here in Chicagoland.
We didn't have the whole thing.
Man,
We went from
whole thing.
stormy fronts to beautiful skies, man.
Stormy fronts.
Stormy fronts, B.
Shout out Snoop and the whole GGN News Network.
Shout outs to everybody that put music out this week, man.
Yeah, a lot of good music came out this week.
Yeah, plenty good stuff.
All right.
We had 420 this week too.
Oh yeah. That's one of those holidays you just forget about. It's tied for my first favorite holiday too.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's becoming the most overhyped though.
It's 420 and Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just inverted versions of the same thing.
What do you mean?
420,
inverted?
you smoke until you get hungry, and then you go eat. On Thanksgiving, you smoke because you're gonna go eat. Same thing, food and weed.
I like weed.
I like food.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So these papers here, they're really throwing me off. I'm gonna put this paper over here so they don't see it.
All right.
So, you've been drinking coffee on the show. What do you feel about what's going on with the whole Starbucks thing?
Starbucks. All right, look. I'm gonna keep this shit real simple and real plain.
Hold on, let me get a piece of paper.
Have you ever been to Starbucks?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Why, of course.
Have you ever sat in Starbucks?
Yeah.
Have you ever sat in Starbucks without buying anything?
Yeah.
And what
I sat in
happened to
Starbucks without buying anything? Back in the days, we used to sit in bookstores and not buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe buy a cup of coffee at a bookstore, which I never understood. Why do you sell coffee at a bookstore? What if somebody spills the coffee on a book they haven't bought yet?
You just bought a book. No, but I think it's it's a weird dynamic that we got going on right now because it's like, all right, I understand that wrong is right and right is right? Now, I'm never one for getting police involved when it's not necessary. So I understand that. But we looking at, black people that are in the spotlight or have some kind of influence or voice calling for like a national ban of Starbucks. A national ban of Starbucks,
Yeah.
which is a franchise chain, right? So that means
so-
you can own a Starbucks, I can own a Starbucks. Like, I would think if it was really to the degree of having to boycott something, why not find out who owns that Starbucks and boycott them?
Well, why not boycott the person who made the decision?
Thank you. Like,
If
it's
that manager was the one that called the cops and made this big hoobaloo about nothing.
But to another point,
Maybe he should be the guy that doesn't get his dry cleaning done on time, or he should be the guy who doesn't get, his gas pumped for him at the gas station, or it's him. It's not Starbucks. It's one guy having one bad day, one day out of life. And he took it out on one person who had a video phone.
and it's such a shitty time in America that we get the optic that, even if Starbucks wanted to have a different outlook on things rather than shutting down all these stores for racial bias training, they couldn't. They couldn't. There's no way that Starbucks could escape from this without having some kind of drastic, visible type of reform go on.
See, so now, why is accountability so important? Like, why do I have to have somebody to blame? Why can't I just live my life and deal with my problems myself? Like the whole racial bias training. Why does that even have to happen? One guy did one thing in one store, now the whole company has to have racial training bias. Somebody went into Mark Zuckerberg's shit and messed up. They found all our information on Facebook, and now he has to go explain himself for something he didn't do at all. He just owns the company. Like, I don't understand why accountability is so important nowadays.
I think we live in a world that lacks context, man. You look at the majority of communication that goes on today. You have social media construct. You have text messaging, and you have 24-hour news cycle. None of which offer mass amounts of context for you to be able to form your own opinion, right?
Yeah.
I text you something, you have to read it how I typed it.
Yeah.
No room for context. So the optic is more important than
Can
what
you
really
say
happened.
visual, man? Because optic is really throwing me off, man.
Well, the visual that we getting now is one that's not to be opinionated. Like, you can't have an opinion on this visual because we're gonna make it look like to have an opinion is to be on the side of wrong.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's like and to a further degree, right? Now, the way I was raised, I've never, unless I was just straight on some bullshit, I've never gone into an establishment with the expectation of sitting there and doing nothing without making a purchase. That's just how I was raised.
Well, I mean, the only reason I've ever gone into a Starbucks and not bought anything was because I was waiting on somebody, either to have a little business meeting or to go somewhere else.
See, and in the
And
spirit,
Starbucks is just the easiest place to meet up at.
and in the spirit of capitalism, I've always felt like I need to go and buy something so they won't ask me to leave. Not because I'm black, but because
I'm not a patron.
exactly. And we live in a capitalist system, and this is a business.
Yeah.
So I go buy water. I'll enjoy my water, wait and do what I got to do, and get the hell on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you. If you come up to me and say, "Hey, you're not buying anything. You've been in here for a half an hour." Okay, either I'm gonna go in my pocket and pull out a $5 bill and you know buy something, or I'm gonna leave.
And that's
Uh-huh.
that's another thing that I looked at when looking at this situation. Is like, all right, I've never been in a place where I was told to leave and I wanted to put up a fight to stay. If
Yeah, if you don't want me there,
Right, if I'm not
gonna be
welcomed,
there. Yeah.
there are plenty of other places to go. I could go and sit in the library all I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy anything. Does the library sell anything?
I'm not sure.
Me neither. But I know you go in there to sit and wait
Yeah.
or read
Or read or pick up something and leave.
or research something.
I mean, they got to make some kind of money somehow. I think they just make money off of
Yeah. So
past due.
and I look at the irony, right? This is arguably the most opinionated, outspoken president that we ever had, right? But we live in a society where speaking out in any way other than what's deemed right by the court of public opinion is outlawed.
Yeah. See, the court of public opinion is bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Period.
Yes, it is.
Like, I don't care about your opinion because your opinion is not gonna help me sleep at night. That's my opinion. You know, my opinion is what gets me through the day.
I
What
think we all
keeps me
suffer
going,
from
you know?
some form of it. You know, perception is reality, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, like I've done things in my life that I know are gonna be perceived as bad or just lazy or dumb or why did he do that when he could have done this? Because I wanted to, not because I'm a bad person. It's just this is what I want to do, and if it doesn't coincide with what you want me to do, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I don't have to care. I say this every week.
Every week.
I don't have to care, you know, because I'm gonna go home to my family, and their opinions are the ones I care about. You know, the people that I have to be around, people, who I choose to be around, and also the people who I have to be around on a daily basis.
How does this tie into that whole connection to the earth thing you always preaching in?
Because you have to be at a certain level to be open. You know, but if I'm worried about what you're saying about me, I'm worried about how that person's looking at me, or I'm worried about this and that, and there's fear in my heart, and there's worry, and there's all these negative energies just flowing through me, I'm not going to be able to connect with you on the level that we need to connect on. You know, that's why I don't care. It's just simply because I want to be available. I want to be open. You know, but if I'm closed off because of a fear of judgment or a fear of not fitting in, you know, I'm not going to be able to move forward in my life or help anybody else.
True.
You know?
So let's cap this Starbucks thing.
All right.
Are we I you know what? I never went to Starbucks anyway, but the crazy thing is I know people that work at Starbucks.
Yeah.
They give me free shit when I go. And I still want to get that free shit.
I mean, so to cap this whole conversation, stop being fucking pussies. That's it.
Bold man.
You walk into a store, you buy stuff out the store, and you walk out the store. Either that or don't go in the store.
Shop online.
Yeah. You know?
All right, so Trump's America. Speaking of Trump, Trump is pardoning posthumously who is arguably one of the greatest boxers that has ever lived in Jack Johnson. So I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what exactly is the motivation behind this pardoning Jack Johnson posthumously by one Donald J. Trump, president-elect.
All right.
Trump.
So I got two thoughts on this.
Okay.
My first thought is we should have never spoke on this.
Mm-hmm.
It should have never came back out. Because only thing I knew about Jack Johnson until now was that he was one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
All right.
I didn't know that he went out of state with his girlfriend.
His white girlfriend.
Yeah,
And that was illegal.
that was illegal. Like, first of all, why is traveling with a person in the 30s illegal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're trying to slow down the rate of human trafficking and prostitution. So you say black men can't go from Illinois to Indiana with white women.
Hey, look.
That makes no sense. So all of that, just bringing that back into the human consciousness is wrong. We shouldn't even be talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, human trafficking is something that's going on right now, and it's a big problem. But we shouldn't drag Jack Johnson's name into this when he didn't even do anything wrong. Like, what are you pardoning him for? He's been gone since 1948.
Mm-hmm.
It's 70 years since he passed away.
Right.
Like, why are we talking about something negative that was put on him that he didn't even do?
So
You know?
I would ask, is this because we got a re-election coming up soon? Is this part of the Trump?
Obviously.
Is this part of the Trump stimulus package on the backs of black people?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's the only reason he's even talking about Jack Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the article?
I mean, because really you could say, who cares about Jack Johnson? To this point, even with the pardon, I haven't heard anybody mention things about Jack Johnson. I know who Jack Johnson is because I'm a boxing fan.
Yeah.
I watched video of Jack Johnson beating the snot out of people.
Yeah.
Very entertaining stuff.
I mean, he did a lot for the perception of black people in America.
And what is this greater purpose that pardoning him posthumously would serve?
The greater purpose is never forget. That's the only purpose this serves. Don't forget that you're my nigga
Wow.
and I own you.
Wow.
So I'm going to go and pardon somebody who died 70 years ago who nobody talks about now,
And then we get
for you not to forget that we owned you, that we said you couldn't take white girls from state to state.
the Jack Johnson story.
Sylvester Stallone told Donald Trump to do that shit.
Oh, Rocky himself.
What the fuck? What does this have to do with black people? What does this have to do with empowering anybody?
There is no empowerment, man. The world must not change.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the world must not change. Think about it like this, right? We get a slave movie that hits to critical acclaim every couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you get a pardon from an unjust prosecution, right, from a president at the end of his term.
At the end of his
At
term.
the end of his
This
term.
motherfucker been pardoning motherfuckers since day 9.
Mm-hmm. We get all of these reminders that we can use your history at any given moment, and we gonna pound it into your head that you are owed something. So act like you deserve it, and that's how we get this system of dependency that we got right now, which bothers me because you seeing little black children talking about racism as if they experienced it.
I mean, how old were you the first time
I
somebody said something crazy to you?
the first time I experienced blatant racism, like overt to my face, I was well into my 20s.
Nah,
The first time I knew that racism existed and I seen it being portrayed towards me, I was too young to know what it was.
Yeah.
But the children that I'm speaking about today are the children that are products of the court of public opinion. Whereas the opinion is fuck the police, so they don't like the police.
Yeah, so you're saying there's no individual.
It's
thoughts
right.
people don't-
There's no independent thought
Yeah,
that rationalizes why they feel this way. It's
they
just
just feel this way because they were told to feel this way.
exactly. And I think that is the reason why this Jack Johnson thing is going on, why we keep getting these damn slave movies, why they keep trying to keep this shit going, the whole poverty need-based pacification system that we living in now. And I've been tired of it. But, you know, you can't say nothing because if you say something, you're Uncle Tom. If you say something, is where you hate your own people. If you say something, you acting white. You know, it's just like, what is that? Where does that come from?
It's perfect conditioning, man. This shit's been in place since 1492. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened that year, but that seems to be the year that everybody just activated. You know what I'm saying? It was activated, and since then,
It's
it's been
still going.
orchestrated perfectly.
And it make me think about shit like the Willie Lynch papers, right? Like the Willie Lynch papers was supposed to last for 300 years.
No, it took 300 years to kick it in, and it was going to last forever after you conditioned the people for the 300 years.
And it's funny that we see this kind of privileged system that we got going on now, and we see artists like Kendrick Lamar winning Pulitzer Prizes for music. And it's like, what's going on? Because on the one hand, you can see everything that's a ploy, everything that's a plot to keep the status quo going as far as race relations or lack thereof in America. But you get Kendrick Lamar winning Pulitzer Prizes for music. Like,
Well, I mean, he won the prize for the story he told. You know, on
what was it? To
Damn.
Pimp a Butterfly? Damn.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Damn was good.
Damn was great.
Damn good. But
Got me slinging coffee, man.
But yeah, he won the prize for telling the story of the American youth. You know?
Of the Black American youth?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, see, the system is set in place to keep things the way they are. They don't want things to change from the way they are. But there's still a real world out there. And people are still going through things, and I don't think race matters when you're changing the world, you know, or when you're eloquently telling the story of a group, of disenfranchised group, you know, like feel like good things are still good, you know. So if it's good, it doesn't matter who made it; it's good. So we're gonna
Reward the
Yeah.
goodness.
yeah.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with this black guy did something really good in this time of racial disparities and bias and a time of fear in this country. So we gotta, we gotta give Jay-Z a this. We gotta give Kendrick a this. We gotta, you know, pass out these rewards so people calm down. No, I think it's just a good performer put on a good performance, and he's getting rewarded for
The art is being rewarded.
it. Yeah.
So this is purely by chance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He's also the first rap artist to win a Pulitzer, you know.
But is it time? That's what it did. Is that what we witnessing? Is it time for hip hop to finally be accepted into that club of genres of music?
Yeah, I mean, hip hop's not even 50 yet. You know?
Very young.
Yeah, it's a very young genre of music. So for people in our generation to start getting the rewards, to be the first people to get awards and get, you know, independent hip hop artists winning Grammys and chants, hip hop artists winning Pulitzers and getting accepted into the writers.
You know what? I guess my problem is who is creating, like, all right, when we got into hip hop, right? it was I guess you would say it was more free form. Like you had your commercial artists, your mainstream artists, your single artists. Then you had this whole other subgenre of underground hip hop, right? Now these are the artists that get no accolades, that you ain't gonna know about unless you sought them out and found them, right?
Yeah.
Now we living in an age today where I feel like that barrier between
It's gone.
it's broken. So
Yeah.
you either up at the top or you don't exist at all, right?
Yeah.
So who is creating these levels? Like, cause it ain't the artist.
I mean, you have to be seen in order to be
Who's holding the camera?
the court of public opinion.
Who's the judge?
The popular opinion.
Not, I don't think I'm
Like,
expressing.
everybody knows who Kendrick Lamar is. Not everybody knows who Tech Nine is.
Now look.
Not everybody knows who Atmosphere
That's
is.
a perfect example. That's a perfect example. Everybody knows who Kendrick is, right? Now, what I'm about to say is not to discredit Kendrick Lamar, but you said not as many people know who Tech Nine is. But I would argue that Tech Nine is put in
way more
work,
Yeah.
right?
I would say that.
So, how is it that Tech Nine can be a successful hip hop artist with a solid core fan base, one of the biggest machines that he's created for himself pushing him, yet it's still people who don't know who Tech Nine is, but Kendrick Lamar is winning Pulitzers, and we all know who he is. Like, how did that happen? And I'm not discrediting. Before you say this, I just want to say that I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to discredit what Kendrick has done or the works that he puts in. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan.
So it's not Kendrick Lamar. It's Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, The Game. All of these guys said Kendrick Lamar. So we went out and found Kendrick Lamar. You know, nobody said Tech Nine. You know, so in order for you to find Tech Nine, you really had to look him up in a XXL magazine in the 90s or on LimeWire in the early 2000s. Or now you can just Google it, you know. But you really had to go find him. There was nobody on TV saying, yeah, you know, I'm an old head in the game, so y'all listen to me and go check for Tech Nine, you know? Like, everybody loves Snoop. Martha Stewart is on
Cooking show with Snoop.
You know?
Is this the best time ever for black media?
I mean, black media is...
No, I mean, are we, because we've always had, like, I was thinking about this. We had Denzel Washington playing Malcolm X. You know, we had Roots and Alex Haley. We've had Angela Bassett. We've had a lineage of great black actors and actresses. But now what we're seeing are the accolades and the black people behind the camera.
I mean, I would say, yeah, because it is the best time for African-American cinematography. Just because of the quality of work we're putting out nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong, all those black exploitation films that were produced in a high quality manner, you know, but now things are being taken more seriously. Like, yeah, there's that one show with the guy off of Leverage. He plays this. They all play slaves. What's the one with the light skinned girl? And I don't even want to say the name of the show because it's a fucking slave show in 2018. But
so you know what? I have a good example of that. I wanted to look it up. It's the rap battle show I think that Method Man created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Method Man.
Yeah, man.
For not having to rap at 60.
Mhm.
If you come out with a 60th birthday party tour, I will go to it. But shouts out to you for not having to rap at 60.
Yeah.
You put that out there and the world gave it to you. That's what's up. I seen the freestyle today. He was going crazy on these young mumble rappers.
Yeah, I think artists like that's the thing. It's just that I don't know why we don't see it as much. I guess because it's not as popularized. Like artists like Method Man EP and stuff. You just seen Redman EP something on VH1. We got Charlemagne EP and stuff. Like this is a great time. A great time. But I wonder, like, how because I me personally, I love it. Like to see Snoop Dogg having a cooking show with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Like it make me
And
feel
he's
like
a game show host now.
like did we win?
No, he ain't won.
No, I mean not the war, but is this a battle won? Like where the floodgate has been opened and the faucet will not be turned off?
I mean, that's
It's heavy dope, man.
yeah,
That's heavy
but
dope.
I don't. That's the thing about being African American.
Mm-hmm.
They can always turn the faucet off.
Yeah.
There's never been a time that they couldn't turn the faucet off.
Because you got lip sync battle, the Method Man rap battle show is Drop the Mic.
Yeah,
We got
Wildin'
that.
Out.
Yeah, we got Wildin' Out. Oh man, and Nick Cannon, man, I think he is that example. The same way that we have a Dr. Dre and a Snoop Dogg. You watch Nick Cannon rise through the ranks, man.
Yeah,
Like he came from the bottom all the way up. To the same thing he did. Wow, now it's a long running show.
I can't get past it.
Go ahead,
Did you
man.
hear about old girl that's suing Mariah Carey for sexual harassment?
What?
Yeah,
What?
it was
What?
a publicist or assistant. She said Mariah Carey used to just walk around the house naked and touching on herself and shit.
Get the fuck out of
All in
like
front of her, just
in a masturbatory nature.
yeah. That's crazy, right? Fucking Mariah Carey. Why would you sue Mariah Carey for that?
Look,
well, I guess that's like me suing The Rock for that. I don't want to see The Rock's meat, but I would love to see Mariah Carey walking around naked.
But you chose
But-
to work for The Rock. The Rock didn't have you in involuntary servitude. Mariah
Yeah.
Carey didn't have this girl. She could have quit at any time.
But she said that when she did get fired, but she was in a contract, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't quit. Like once you're contracted, you're contracted. You're there for 2 years until your contract's over.
So there must not have been no kind of stipulations about her nakedness.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Look,
fuss
I
about
just
Mariah
feel like
Carey's
if you working in my goddamn house, be prepared to see me walking through this
in my
motherfucker
goddamn house.
naked as hell with some Homer Simpson flip flops on, eating a pepper and egg sandwich, digging in my ear at any point of the day. Like you work for me. I don't care that you right here. You don't exist outside of the parameters of your work responsibilities. How can you be able to sue me if I didn't make advances towards you in a sexual way?
Man, so I don't want to go away from. I don't want to go away from Nick Cannon and just talking about black cinematography, but Terry Crews, you a bitch.
Oh yeah, I saw that this morning, man. What is the end game for this dude? What the fuck is that? Like, that's some hoe ass shit. Did he call he said masculinity is a cult?
Yeah.
Eh.
He said men don't see women as humans. He said you walk into a strip club and you throwing money at the booty, but then once she starts talking about, yeah, this money's gonna feed my kids, and this money's gonna put me through college, you're like, shut up, I don't want to hear that. You're becoming too human now.
Fuck kind of nigga is
What you
he?
talking about, Terry? Just because a motherfucker grabbed your meat and you are part of the Me Too doesn't mean that all men don't see women as humans.
We are not a monolith. There is no man behind the scenes pushing the button for mankind.
Yeah.
There is no cult. What the fuck? This is how I was. Look. And
So, if masculinity is a cult, is femininity a cult?
I don't think any of this shit is a cult. Because if masculinity is a cult, it has to be perpetrated by women. Most of the men I know were raised by mothers,
Yeah.
not fathers.
Yeah.
So where does this cult come from?
Yeah, right? Exactly. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I didn't have a father growing up, but I know, what I'm supposed to do as a man.
Look, and Terry Crews, I could see this play coming from a number of different angles, right? Like, we're seeing a lot of pandering right now coming from men, but in greater degree, black men, right? It's like, I know how I was raised. There was a underlying, unspoken level of fear that you had for the black woman. Like, deep down inside, you knew if you push it too far, you're going to end up on the wrong side of a bad situation fucking around with a black woman, right? Mm-hmm. And now that we got this Me Too movement, it's harder than ever to be a natural man in society, to feel the way that you felt before such prominent subgroups came about. So we see this Terry Crews that was sexually abused by an executive. This Terry Crews that calls masculinity a cult. This Terry Crews that is the biggest, strongest nigga that I've ever seen on camera since Apollo fucking Creed. Mm-hmm. To say such emasculated things. It's like, is his play to become a feminist now?
I mean, now, so what's the opposite of a feminist? Like, what's the male version of a feminist? A masculinist?
A man?
A masculine?
I don't know.
Well, I guess to be a feminist just means that you want women to have equal rights as men.
Now we jumping into a whole different rabbit hole because I'm of the belief that men and women do have equal rights.
But no, see now, you can believe that. But there's statistics out there that say that we don't.
Statistics can be wrong.
I mean, women getting paid less for the same job when you sometimes have even more qualifications for the job, that's wrong.
Okay, I know what you do, and you know what I do. Mm-hmm. There are people that do what you do that are women, right?
We all get paid the same.
There are people that do what I do that are women.
Now, you don't know that y'all all get paid the same.
I do.
How?
I did.
How do you know?
I did my research. I actually asked because I wanted to know if this wage disparity transferred over into the world of the lower class working man. So I started asking everybody I know about their occupations.
And I don't think it's lower class though. I don't think it's bottom. I think it starts off at mid middle class, like the middle of the middle class. Mm-hmm. Like that's where it starts. Like at 45 and up is where it starts. Mm-hmm. Like a man that gets $52,000 for the same job a woman gets $45,000 for. But anybody making $24,000 is going to make $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know?
I just want to know what are these, because I've never seen or heard of a specific career.
Like project managers, executives. Mm-hmm.
Can you name a specific company that's perpetrated this?
I can't, but I mean, Google can.
Okay. All right, so look, while you looking it up, I want to just talk about this for a second, right? So when I think about wage disparity, I think about the reasons. As living in capitalist America, and I run a corporation, right? Now, I have project leads that work for me. This man is going to work his 40 years or whatever, retire, get his pension, off into the sunset. And I have this woman that comes to work for me, right? Now, this is not to put every woman into a monolith, but there are women who want to pursue a career that also have aspirations of having children and raising a family.
What the fuck that got to do with anything?
Let me finish. Mm-hmm. So, me being the owner of said corporation, I know that there is a certain block of time that I will have to pay for that yields zero production.
6 weeks?
Whatever the case. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying what it is.
But there's also paternal leave. I could have took a paternal leave when I was working at Target. I could have took 6 weeks off to be at home with my kid for 6 weeks. And
But
still gotten paid and still had a guaranteed job when I got back.
I'll say this. There is no need for a woman to be pregnant. So there are women taking maternity leave without a male to take paternity leave. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying from a cost benefit analysis, there will be places where businesses are more inclined to hire males because of the fact.
Because of 6 weeks out of, I mean, how many women have kids every year that they're fertile? How many women is there out there with 30 kids? Because they had a kid every year from 15 to 45.
But these women exist though, right?
How many women you know with 30 kids?
I know a woman with 18 kids.
Has she worked? Does she work?
No.
You can't work with 18 kids.
But the fact of the matter
if you
is,
don't have any kids and you're trying to get one kid.
Look, I'm not saying the system is right. I'm just saying that just like there's one side for an argument, there's another side for an argument.
No, there's never a reason to pay a person less money because of their sexual organs.
Or say nothing about
possibility.
I didn't say anything about sexual organs.
Of a furlough, but not a furlough, but of extended vacation.
They do it all the time. If you a work risk and you're more likely to need comp time or short-term disability payments, you're less likely to be hired.
But that's different though. If you got a bum leg, I'm not gonna let you be my forklift driver. But if you have the possibility of getting pregnant, why the fuck you can't?
And that's the thing. I don't have any issue with maternity leave. I don't have any issue with women having careers and wanting to get pregnant. I'm just speaking for the contrary to what is the popular belief.
But no, see, all right. Now this is where we go back to the court of public opinion.
Okay.
And we go back into the popular belief.
Mm-hmm.
Like the popular belief is that women aren't being treated equal.
Mm-hmm.
But the popular belief is also that women are equal, which is the dumbest shit in the world to me, because women are not equal to men.
I don't think anything in society is equal. Like, what is this equal? What is this equal? What is this equal that people pretend exists in some form of fashion?
This is the disconnect. You know? We're going back to the disconnect. We're going back to, okay, men do this and women do this and the world turns smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's men who say, I don't want to do that. And there's women who say, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And this has become accepted. And we got men trying to do what women do, women trying to do what men do. Well, I'm going to say we got men trying to do what women are better at, and we got women trying to do things that men are better at. You know? And everybody's just trying to accept everybody for being individuals. But we're not individuals. We are the human race, the human consciousness. We're all connected. We all have a job to do. We all got to bleed, sweat, and cry our own blood, sweat, and tears to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to go through my shit, through my blood, sweat, and tears to get my part of this done. Whether it's lifting the heavy shit on the top shelf, or it's doing the computer stuff, or it's doing, whatever I'm doing, I have to do it. You know?
So how much of this do you think is identity, some sort of identity, I don't want to use the word crisis, but like a
identity issue?
An identity issue, because you can say, all right, I'm going to be a thoroughbred and win a Kentucky Derby. I'm not running out to go and get a saddle, but I should be accepting of the fact that one day you will compete in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, see, it's so weird because,
and it's like if I don't
can't say
you won't win the Kentucky Derby
as a horse. I can tell you're not going to win as a horse, but your beliefs are stronger than my words.
Than the facts.
Yeah.
Than the facts.
But all right. So
we lose sight in the factual when trying to be fair and equal.
All right. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to try to backtrack. All right. So women are better than men. I'm just gonna say that. They're stronger, they're crazier, they're smarter, they're less crazy.
You know, in most species in nature, the female species is the most dominant.
So for them, the majority of the human population to say that they're not being treated equal is crazy. Because there's more of y'all than us. Why don't y'all just X us out? You could just say, I'm not doing business with you because you're a man. I'm going to take my business to this woman because, hell, there's, what, 4 or 5 women for every man on the planet right now? Oh,
Right, I think it's right, like 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, there's so many more women on the planet than men. How can the minority be in charge when you guys have everything?
Well,
You know?
there's more of this than this in society, and here we are.
Yeah, it's just a belief. I guess. Yeah, the whole human consciousness is waking up. So you got.
I think things will balance out at some point, but for now, everything is caught up in the jumble of yes, I am.
Yeah,
I think that's what's going on. It's like the waking up to one's identity is causing
identity
confusion because it's like for the first time, a lot of people in this world, transgender people, gay people, women, and men are waking up to the idea that I am somebody. I am. And in me being I am, I can be. Don't hold back. Whose table is this? This is your table.
White women are white people.
True.
They're not women. You're not a woman. You're not a minority. You're a white person. That's it. Like, no, you're not a feminist. You're a white person. You make white people. Like, that's it. You're the white person that you're fighting against. And you're getting us on your team to fight against you.
Well, we see it all the time. You look at, you can see a history of
the white women coming in when black people said they wanted to vote. White women came in and said women want to vote.
No, you can, and that's what I'm talking about.
When yeah,
you can see throughout history, you've seen white niche groups throwing their issues on the backs of greater minority issues.
Yeah.
So like when we see the women's suffrage movement,
yeah,
you know, they brought in black women for the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we saw the gay marriage controversy, it was brought in on the backs of the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the most ridiculous statements that I've ever heard made about battles of individuality being placed on the backs of human issues.
Yeah. Like it doesn't, it's just one thing to be for the cause, you know, but it's another thing to use the cause for your own personal interest, you know? And I'm tired of that. I feel like white women are making the narrative. Like, they are the court of public opinion. Like, if they say it's wrong, it's wrong. If they say it's right, it's right. You know, and they're gonna go out and find somebody to back them. They're gonna go out and find a Terry Crews. Or they're gonna go out and find the cop from, where's he from? From Milwaukee or is he from St. Louis?
Oh, David Clark.
Yeah.
Sheriff David Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Milwaukee.
gonna find that guy to say, I'm a black man, but blue lives matter. Of course.
So
No, I'm not even gonna say blue lives matter. Every job is important. You know? Green lives matter. Ain't that the color that Starbucks is? Green? Green lives matter. Blue lives matter. What's Amazon? White, black, and yellow? Amazon lives matter. Everybody's life, orange. Home Depot's orange. Orange lives matter. Of course your job matters. You need job security to be able to live your life and do what you're doing. But it's not, you know, you can stop being a cop right now and become a diner owner or
baker.
become a maintenance man, or become
A plumber.
a plumber. You can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop being black today just because I said I wanted to stop being black today.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like biologically, you are still a black man.
So I guess and one more thing I want to say about that whole situation is let me clear this up for everybody who seems to have questions. Black Lives Matters is not saying that only Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matters is only saying that Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
To me.
Like, they're not saying that only their lives matter. They're only saying that, hey, our life matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's like you can't expect the Bulls to say that the New York Knicks are just as good a team as we are. The Chicago Bulls are gonna say we are the Chicago Bulls, and the Chicago Bulls basketball is what matters.
Yeah.
Because what else should matter to the Chicago Bulls organization?
Mm-hmm.
So I get exactly what you mean.
Well, not really like that. It's more of, it's like me saying, I'm gonna leave a tip, and you saying,
one of my favorite conversations.
but we all leave tips.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, all right, yeah, we all leave tips, but I was only saying that I'm gonna leave a tip.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's not my tip, it's more important than your tip. I'm gonna leave a bigger tip than you. No, it's just, I was just saying, hey, I'm gonna leave a tip.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
you do what you want with that. This is just my affirmation of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because I might have forgot.
And that's where
I might have forgot that this food was good enough to leave a tip.
See, I like how you brought that back around, man, because it's like a confusion of inclusion.
Yeah.
Wow, you brought that around very well.
It's not that I think I'm better than you. It's not that I want you to believe that I'm better than you. I just want you to believe that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm here. Mm-hmm. That's it. I just want,
right. Just because,
I don't need your.
You are not included. That doesn't make me wrong or you right or you wrong or me right. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You're not included in this.
It's like, hey, can you stop killing us? We matter. You know, I'm not saying Black Lives Matter and yours don't matter. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like there's still confusion about this, and I feel like the spokesperson, the guy that I don't do my research on Black Lives Matter, but the spokesperson, the guy that they're always criminalizing. Oh, well, he's a criminal. Or he
with the blue
did
vest.
Bad stuff in the back.
Yeah,
in the past. You know? Yeah, all he's saying is, hey, my life still matters. You know, and I'm making a difference. I'm trying to make a difference.
See, it's because it's a connotation put on words like or organizations like Black Lives Matter, and
it's a guilty conscience.
It's a guilty conscience, and it brings up exclusion. So for the masses, when they think of exclusion and black, they think of the Black Panther Party. They think of the Nation of Islam.
Think of the N-word.
Yeah, they think of the N-word. Exclusionary terminology.
Yeah.
And it's like something in some people just will not let exclusion be what it is. They have to put some kind of moral base on exclusivity.
All right, so now do you think, crazy question here.
Okay.
Do you think the Black Lives Matter movement would have ever started if in the 50s they did it the right way and they said separate but equal? Like if they just gave black people.
Oh, if it was equal?
No, if it was really separate but equal. Like black people had their own fire departments, banks, and hospitals over here, and white people was really over there doing their own thing, but we were all still America.
But you look at what happened in the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, they had bullets. That
shit was a fucking disaster, man. It's like,
could you imagine? Could you even imagine going through that?
They cut the fucking phone line so they couldn't call nobody.
could you imagine being an American citizen and having another American citizen say, where the fuck are these niggers getting all these bullets from?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they still shooting at us? They're all supposed to be dead. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we came over here to kill them all, but they're still shooting at us.
You know what? I like that you bring up shooting and bullets. I think we've been on this topic for a while, and now I got something else that I'd like to speak about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you, all right, you have a.
I guess we didn't really say anything though.
I mean, I think we said a lot.
So to sum it up, Black Lives Matters isn't saying that your life doesn't matter. They're just reminding you and themselves that their life matters. Terry Crews is still a bitch. I still want to see Mariah Carey naked.
Yeah.
But for sure, women are not equal to men. Or should I say, men are not equal to women.
I would say
they can do a lot more than us.
I would say equal ain't nothing but the name of a sugar.
yeah.
And I would say
that.
I would say exclusion is not something that is incorporated into moral basis. Inclusion and exclusion has nothing to do with morality.
Oh.
You can't be a part of this club because the club is not for you. It's not because I don't like you. It's not because of who you are. It's just the rules of my club.
Not for you.
Exactly.
All right. And to end off, to answer your question, yes, this is the best time in African American cinematography.
We just got the whole row off.
And Nick Cannon, Method Man, Snoop Dogg. Shouts out to all of these guys who came from other stuff. Well, not really Nick Cannon. He was always in the...
He's always in the mix.
Culture. Yeah,
He's always in the mix of the culture.
You know, shouts out to all of those guys doing their thing. Chadwick Boseman coming out in the new Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go see that.
Yes.
Infinity
Wars, baby.
And just everybody. I still haven't seen The Last OG, but shouts out to Peele.
I have seen The Last OG. I watched the first 2 episodes. No, the first 3 episodes. I think episode 4 is coming on Tuesday. The Last OG, man. That's one of them shows that are special. Like, I look at Atlanta. Atlanta is the greatest thing on television right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like this season is a little artsy for me.
Well, you know what? Once it's over, I like to do a breakdown of Atlanta. Like, we can just not episode by episode, but just like themes, because Atlanta is like the visual manifestation of 444. Like, you know how when you listen to let me get to it. You know how, I know for me, when I listen to 444, it's like this one song was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's like hours of content to be broken down within each bar, like the double and triple entendres. Don't ask me how, but just all of this content that's in this little short piece of music. Each episode of Atlanta is 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it's so much packed and crammed into each episode. So much commentary.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but The Last OG is, this show is about a man coming into the world that has changed into the world of the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
So Terry Crews is this.
No.
I mean, not Terry Crews. Tracy Morgan. Not Terry Crews. Not Terry Crews.
Sit down, Terry.
No, Terry. No. Tracy Morgan, yeah. So he got out of prison. He did 15 years in jail. He went to jail at the finale, as the finale of the first season of American Idol played on the television.
Oh, wow.
That's when he got locked up. And he was going for Justin Guarini. He was locked up for 15 years. And he came home to Brooklyn, gentrified, and this movement of popular opinion and acceptance and inclusion is going on the show. So I watched the first 3 episodes. It's a great show, man. If you get a chance, check it out on some sort of streaming site where you can buy episodes. Check out the new episode on Tuesday.
Or on your Fire Stick. This guy. This table means no PC.
Hey, look, for the
No
most part,
PC at this table.
for the most part, I purchase my content.
You know, for the most part.
I can only speak for me. I don't
know-
think there's nothing wrong with purchasing content from creators like Jordan Peele.
I know Blue Lives who got Fire Sticks. Like, it's okay for you to purchase your stuff, but for the rest of us out here living under the 50K of a year poverty line,
I just think
we use Fire Sticks.
I agree because I think what's more important than the money is the conversation, because the conversation breeds that cash.
Yeah.
That cash. Ooh. But anyway, look, this is what I wanted to get to, right? So you have a young boy, and proud father. I like to see men taking care of their children. Well, people taking care of their children in general. But your child will be of school age before you know it, right?
Yeah. Less than 500 days.
Less than 500 days. So you take your kid for his first day of preschool, right? Now, you're walking through the school, you see a teacher carrying a firearm in the building, going in to teach English literature. How do you feel about sending your child to a school where a number of teachers are armed?
I mean, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't really need to arm. Oh, no, Sandy Hooks. Sandy Hooks was a great school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they killed a bunch of little kids.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the reason why I bring this up is because it was proposed. It was proposed recently that teachers be armed in classrooms, right? I saw a story saying that they were going to arm teachers in case of another mass shooting, but not with firearms, but with mini baseball bats, right? So when that shooter comes through the door with that AR-15, I can bat those bullets away from my students.
Oh, I could just...
Boop. You can just hit them on the head if you get that close, right? I'm thinking about the ridiculousness of this and how the stigma of firearms being bad in society.
Hey, man, you got to include everybody, man. You even got to include the school shooters.
Look,
fuck out of here.
Look, I don't care about nobody's feelings. If my child is in danger and I can't protect him, I would like to have somebody who is capable of doing so to be right next to him or as close as possible. And I don't think no mini bat, I don't think no whistle, I don't think no get up under the desk is going to save any more lives than doing nothing.
I don't think...
Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, man. And if not teachers, why not armed security?
Yeah, that's the only person who needs a gun.
I mean, yeah. And like, while I don't agree that every teacher needs to be armed, but if there is ex-military that also has a degree in childhood education and is eligible to be armed and in the classroom, why not?
That would kill two birds with one stone. You got more security at schools, and you're actually putting
our veterans to work.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Veterans need jobs, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that it's a good idea, but I want to talk about this stigma because I've been going through the process of becoming a legal owner of firearms and just getting into the whole culture of the laws in this country, the Second Amendment, what it's for, the people that are opposed to it, all of these things I've been getting familiar with. And I'm seeing a great divide in the reality and the facts of the matter and the fears and this inclusionary, equalist mentality that we see in the society that we live in. I think that we headed in the wrong direction as far as not creating a problem, but taking a problem and making the circumstances of said problem something that it is not. So most of my family are firearms owners. You know, I got uncles, my brother, aunties, everybody. You know, family come from the South. Everybody learns how to shoot. I got an uncle who was an active hunter. You know, so me growing up, always seen firearms as tools.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Right. It is a tool, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if I have a problem, I was taught to call the police, and the police officer's gonna come with his gun, right? Now, I can have that mentality towards the police, but it's just out of the realm of possibility that I can go and train myself to protect my family. So while I'm waiting on the police to come, I won't be slaughtered with my children in my home at night.
I mean, that's why you have a gun in the house for your personal protection.
Yeah, but some people don't feel that way. Some people don't feel like you don't need to own a firearm at all.
And some people might feel like people don't need to run in your house and try to kill you.
And
Or steal your TV.
yeah,
Or assume that you're on vacation, but you're really asleep in your bed
yeah,
and come in to crack your safe. I mean, nobody needs to touch anybody's anything.
yeah. That ain't the world we live in.
Yeah, that's why there's guns in America. Because it's not the world we live in. Mhm.
And beyond,
Now, me personally, I'm on the whole other side. I'm ignorant, but I'm blissful in my ignorance. That I don't know anything about guns. I've never held a gun. I've never held a real gun. I held a BB gun before. Never actually shot a gun that wasn't like a laser gun. Never shot a paintball gun. You know, I don't know how to cock a gun and shoot it. I see what the people do on TV. You know, I've seen guys shoot guns at each other, you know, in the neighborhood, but I've never held a gun to shoot one. I've never been in a situation where I thought having a gun in this situation would have made it better. You know, I'm a city boy. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised in the middle of public transportation and high rises, and I've never, you know, I've been apple picking, but I've never gone out there and farmed and got my own lettuce and my own tomatoes and onions and made a fresh salad that I went and got out the ground myself. You know, I've never done that. I've never hunted. I've been in a mountain range, but I've never actually gone on a 10-mile hike. You know, I've never seen a bear or a wolf. There's no reason that I would need a gun. You know, like, I grew up in a not so nice neighborhood, and there was gang bangers, and there was guns, and there was, you know, robberies and people doing bad stuff. But I wasn't a part of that.
I don't think that having a gun, I don't think that you should go out and get a gun because you feel like I need to have a gun. Like, I don't think that's the right reason to pursue it at all. I think that as a amendment in the Constitution, some people will look at it as the Constitution is giving you a right, but I look at it as it's like a right the Constitution protects. So maybe I want to learn how to hunt. Maybe I want to go on a 10-mile hike. You know, maybe I just want to shoot for fun. Like, it's not a thing where it's like, all right, I think somebody is after me, so I have to go and get a gun. And that's the stigma that you see, because most people in the ghetto of America is seeing guns used by criminals or the police. There is no everyday citizen that likes to go to the range on the weekend, that likes to shoot for fun and have accuracy tests and all that kind of stuff with friends. And those people exist. Like, there is marksmanship. You shoot guns in the Olympics. The biathlon.
I'm tired of people saying 2A. It's a amendment in the Bill of Rights. You know, I guess that's in the Bill of Rights that you can own a gun. But this right here is what gets me. You know,
What are we looking at?
the 13th Amendment. It
Yeah.
abolished slavery in the United States and provides that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime.
Whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States.
So slavery still exists in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
even though there's a. It basically says if you're free, you're not a slave.
Oxymoron.
If I convict you of a crime, you're a slave.
Back on the farm, nigga.
But if you're free, you're not a slave.
Back on the farm, nigga.
Wasn't I feel like that was the same thing as January 30th, 1865. Like they, wow, they abolished slavery with the 13th Amendment on my birthday. Wow.
So you think we should do away with the 13th Amendment?
No, I think we should do away with the complete Constitution. Start
Holy
over.
fuck. No.
Freedom of speech, yeah. That's about the only thing they got right.
Not freedom of religion? Not freedom of press?
No, that is freedom of speech. All of that is freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say out of your mouth. I can look at you and say, I'm a blue hippopotamus. I can look at you and say, I'm a god. And so is Kanye West. I can look at you and say, my God's right and your God's wrong. Like all of that falls under freedom of speech.
I'm still digesting you saying we should abolish the Constitution.
People say, I've heard a lot of people who go out of the United States and come back home and say that the Constitution of the United States is one of the best working documents
Yeah.
ever.
I mean, especially as somebody that's been out of the country, like that's surprising to hear, man, because it's some places that are pretty messed up as far as your rights and what is allowed and what isn't allowed. Like I can't remember the guy's name, but he pulled down a propaganda poster in China and they sent him back to the United States a vegetable.
Yeah.
Put him in the work camp, worked him into a coma. All right, you can have him back.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. I heard about that.
And it's like that's the only thing that's keeping this kind of stuff from happening here. This tyrannical government that we see across the world. It's like shitty shit going on out there, man.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of shitty shit going on. There's always been shitty shit going on.
I'll take this shitty shit over somebody else's shitty shit, though.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, but
I would take a world where we can argue over somebody getting kicked out of a fucking Starbucks. I'll take that world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you want to be able to talk. You want to be able to speak your mind. You want to be able to. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we should all be able to say. I feel like we should all be able to say whatever we want to say. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't be able to act on impulses. Like, man, I want to fucking do something really bad.
I mean, you're talking about natural law.
I feel like that should be the only law. Like if there shouldn't be laws against things that feel natural. Now, some pedophiles say having sex with little kids feels natural.
See, it's too subjective, man. We got it. I feel like in some
that's wrong,
shape
by
or
the
form,
way. That's wrong.
Yes, that's not up for debate.
Yeah.
I feel like in some way, shape, or form, we have to have laws and we have to have rules because people are subjective. Mankind is subjective. And it's like you can't just say, love everybody and be a good person, or like, because it's like, what's a good person?
You gotta have training though. You don't just
love
everybody off bat and be a good person off bat. You have to be trained to love everybody. You have to be trained to be a good person. And that's what parents are for. Your parents teach you how to be a good person. The Bible doesn't teach you how to be a good person. Your teacher doesn't teach you how to be a good person. That's your mother and your father's duty.
I agree with that.
Teach you to be a good person.
I agree that, institutional or religious constructs don't form moral character or moral compass. I think moral compass
is learned. Your moral compass is gauged.
I think it's inherent. I don't think it's learned. I think it changes from learned behavior, but I think every human is born with that same moral compass that gets manipulated as they get older.
It gets manipulated through
interaction, through living,
through
the transference of energy, man.
It's a really simple word, experience. it's
right through experiences, through living.
Yeah, you close the door and you smash your finger in the door. You learn that you calm the door closed. You
Mhm.
don't try to close the door. You know, you learn things.
Right. You learn not to touch the stove by burning your finger.
But you learn how not to beat on women from your father never beating on your mother. You learn how to not curse in front of people by your parents not cursing in front of you. Because you're going to curse with your cousin.
Kinda.
You're going to curse with your brother and sister. But you're not going to curse in front of your uncle because your uncle never cursed in front of you.
Kinda. Because you can grow up and see your mother getting beat your whole life. That don't mean you're going to beat the woman you end up with.
No, but you would be able to justify it. Like, or you would see a way of justifying it because it happened.
I don't know. I think emotional content and morality is something that's hard built into people. And you learn to turn it off.
All right. So have you read the ancient Native American proverb, the one about the two wolves?
Break it down, brother.
All right. So there's a grandfather speaking to his grandson, and he said, "Grandson, inside of each of us, there's two wolves. There's one that's everything that's good and just and beautiful, positive in the world. There's another one that's everything that's evil and negative and unjust in the world." And his grandson thinks about it for a second, and he said, "Oh, Granddad, which one wins?" And he said, "The one you feed." So, yeah, I could see how you could say you grow up your whole life watching your father beat on your mother, but you didn't feed that wolf. You fed the other wolf. So that wolf eventually wins.
It's the
You
pressure.
become a good person based off of the bad things that you've gone through in your
It's
life.
the pressure that turns the coal into the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah.
But I mean, it's also smoother to just learn things the right way the first time. I mean, that's the difference between
Intelligence and wisdom.
Oh,
Smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others.
Yeah. So
I wonder how these babies gonna be in the next 2 to 3 generations with Wi-Fi all around us. Are we gonna start seeing Wi-Fi sickness? Are we gonna see some kind of unknown pandemic?
the way to explain it is, I seen something off Last Man Standing. It's the daughter, the cute one. She was
Last
smoking
Man Standing. That's
Tim
Tim
Allen?
Allen show.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, she's hitting a vape pen, and her mother's a scientist, so she's like, they say it's healthier than water, but we won't know for another 20 years because your generation is the test subjects. So while we're saying that this is healthier than smoking, we don't really know anything about this for the next 20 years to see how it affects your generation. So we won't know until these kids are in their 40s having kids.
That's some scary shit because it's all interwoven. Think about how integral cell phones are to everyday life. But we never got an official word on whether this thing was safe to have on your person at all times.
Oh, it's not. That's why you're never going to get the official word, because it's not safe to be radiating out of your pocket. You ever get the jitters in your leg, like your phone's vibrating?
No.
No, I
Never.
get that sometimes. It's weird.
Wow.
My phone to be over there, and I feel like my phone vibrates. So I'm looking for a phone. I'm like, I don't have a phone in my pocket. That shit can't be healthy for you.
So I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with our children and grandchildren as far as this new technology that we've made a part of us in the way. Like, all right, we got children from birth now putting their face in the screen from the time that they're born, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to have generations of visually impaired children to where they have to have the eye drop that they came up with that's a prescription? It's like a polymer that you drop into your eye. Like, are we going to have children that are permanently affected by what is the norm so they adapt to what's hurting them instead of changing it because they can't? That's some crazy shit. Like,
I mean,
you can't not have a phone now unless you live off the grid. But how many of us city boys can live off the grid? You go home, tell your wife and your kids, oh, we out of here. We're going to live in the woods because we found out everything around us is killing us. In the sight of that, you still would be looked at as a complete fucking psychopath and told to sit on the couch and watch some TV.
Yeah.
and YouTube on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, go YouTube
Go
on the
YouTube
Wi-Fi.
on the Wi-Fi. You gotta die from something, nickel. Yeah, that's crazy shit. You know, that's the stuff that we don't talk about that's gonna affect the world to come.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a great time, you know, for niche groups. But as a whole, it's fucked up out here. It's a great time for African Americans in cinema.
Mhm.
It's a great time for women in equal rights movements. It's a great time for, you know, anti-gun lobbyists who want to see guns getting taken off, want to see stricter laws put on guns.
fuck that,
But
man.
as an earthling on Earth,
Mhm.
it's about to end. Like, it's really almost over. But then again, motherfuckers been saying that since ancient Egypt.
You never know,
Look at
man.
us here 6,000 years later. We're still here talking about it. It's almost over.
You never know. You never know.
Mhm.
I think over is an exaggerated term. We don't know what over is.
This podcast was supposed to be 60 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
We are on minute 77, and I got to piss really bad. I've been having to piss for about 40 minutes.
Well, I mean, we can wrap it. You want to just wrap it and go to the bathroom? Let's just wrap it real quick, and then you can go pee. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're not making yourself have to pee any less by doing this. All
I just
right?
wanted to skip across the stage.
Okay. So, in closing, we posted our first episode last week.
Mhm.
And, man, we just want to thank everybody for the support, tuning in, logging on. Let's get some more likes. Let's get some more subscriptions. Let's get some more follows, man. Let's get this conversation started. We coming in here every week talking about real shit. New episodes every Sunday, man. We just want to give it to the people. I just want to say thank you for dedicating time out of your life and your day to listen to a bunch of faculty members talk about the shit that affects us every day. So, until next time, school is out. Stay safe. Double salute.
Now, can we say school is out if my tagline is time to get back to the students? Time to get back to the students.
School is out. Double salute.
No, it can't be out. School can't be out if you're going back. Where the hell am I going? if school is out?
Okay. All right.
Time to get back to these students. And I don't want to see you when school's out.